Today we're going to be talking about joint accounts, and I think this is the most controversial topic among couples. During the week, I heard of a story of a couple, a husband and a wife, who have been saving for their down payment. All of a sudden, the wife took $15,000, all the amount that they had in that account, and gave it to her brother. And when the husband questioned her, she was like, well, like, why are you stressing about it? You're behaving as if money is more important than family. And when I heard that, I was like, wow, that's crazy.
That's super crazy. I mean, the whole idea of a joint account in the first place is two people agreeing to save up. It could be for a common goal. It could be just to make sure they have an emergency fund, in there for them. And then one person decided to do something with it without letting the other person know about it. I mean, that in itself, I'll call a breach of contract.
I know, it's a breach of contract.
Yeah.
And you know that the other thing too is, I've heard a lot of things about joint accounts. Some people will tell you, you guys share a bed, you share the same bed, you share a lot of things. Why not share a joint account? I think that joint account is not one size fits all. Like it just depends on your situation. It depends on even personality too. Like one person is a saver, the other person is a spender. Like you have to really understand where you are financially to know like if joint account is meant for you or not.
Yeah, I think just to be clear about that, joint account is not for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Some people, it's great. Like they've been doing it for years and everything is all rosy. And then for some people, they try it for a month and all hell breaks loose.
Yes.
So there needs to be a lot of conversation around it. There needs to be a lot of, I'll say, probably try it for a bit. If something you've not done before, just to make sure it's something that works for you. There needs to be a lot of conversation about, what the joint account is for, the terms and conditions around it, especially for couples. And there also needs to be accountability check.
I also think that whether you do a joint account or not, it also depends. I feel like joint account or the conversation in itself is a trauma response for most people. Like most people have probably seen their parent quarrel or like have like big fights over money while they were growing up. And that has kind of shaped where they fall. Like, do we do a joint account or not? I, for one, I think personally, I wouldn't do a joint account just because, growing up, my parent never did a joint account. And for the one time that my dad so let me say that.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't we have a joint account? We actually have a joint account. So I'm like, what's she talking about?
I know, like, so
did I force you into getting a joint account or like you didn't tell me that?
Okay, let me go back a little bit. I would not solely do a joint account. So I would not say, okay, all the account I'm going to have is just going to be joint. It's just going to be both of us, like for all our accounts. Yes, we do have a joint account, but we have one joint account and we have individual accounts too that kind of give us, our own financial independence. Yeah. Now, this is what I'm saying. Like growing up, my parents never did a joint account. And the one time they did it, it was like my mom was like, okay, let's put this money together. And all of a sudden she woke up one day and my dad, and it was like the money was nowhere to be found. And when she asked my dad, like he casually just said, well, like, I don't have it.
I used it.
You understand what I mean? Like, and those kind of things, I feel like it's awful. Like, it's really awful. Like, especially when you think that we have money. I know, like, even, especially in Nigeria, like, you see situations where, like, some people go from being very rich to, like, being so poor just because of one person's financial decision. Like, just that one person in that relationship that just squandered the money. The worst of it is even when you have one person who is a gambler or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So I think honestly, when it comes to joint account, like I mentioned before, there needs to be a reason. Yeah. Right. And then both parties needs to come to an agreement on the terms and conditions. For some joint accounts, it's possible one person can just sign off things. I mean, with the digital age we are in, you could use if there's a debit card, you could, just go with a debit card and just withdraw or do stuff. Back in the days, you probably need to write a check and you could put some controls around it where you say, both parties needs to sign, right? In order for funds to be moved. But nowadays, it's easy with just on your phone, you can move funds. So there needs to be some checks and balances. I know for us, we both receive alerts, right? So
Yes,
for sure, we
both
know if
get
anything is
alerts,
happening, we know right away,
Yeah.
right? And for us, the main goal of the joint account, like you mentioned, is for the mortgage, right? So it's more like, we have to make sure money is in there at the particular day of every month, so we don't default on our mortgage, right? And we know for sure that's what it is for.
Yeah.
When it comes to other expenses, things for the kids, groceries for the house, we kind of have a different approach for that, right? So it's what works best for you as a couple, right? What works best. And you don't have to say, because everybody's preaching joint account, we have to do it.
I know, like it doesn't work for everybody. Like it may work for one family, it may not work for one family. I think one thing I've realized with joint account is that you just need to do what works for you. Like you need to look at each other and be like, can this work? And you may even do a trial, especially it's easier, I think, prior to getting married. Right? It's easier prior to getting married if you both sit down and say, okay, let's do a trial joint account and then see how it works. So that when you now get married, it's like, we've done it before. We can follow the same pattern. Now, if you guys did it prior to getting married and it did not work, that means joint account may not be for you.
Yeah. There's another school of thought, I think in most cases might be right, where the person advocating for a joint account might actually be the financially irresponsible one. So,
exactly. So if you have that person that is just pushing and saying, let's get a joint account, you need to watch them properly.
Yeah. At the same time, then also needs to be, so just to balance it, right? Not saying joint accounts are bad, but then both parties needs to agree. So if one person is pushing, another person is not interested, probably you shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But if both parties are able to agree,
yes,
then both parties should also commit to making sure it works, right?
Yes.
Make sure they are accountable to each other. If you need to do anything out of the ordinary, you need to make sure the other person is on board.
Yeah.
Right. That's the only way you won't, end up having third world war. Yeah.
So I was gonna ask you this question, like, what was it like growing up, like with your parents? Like, did your parent have a joint account? Like, was it a big deal? Like, what was it like? For you growing up? Was your growing up, like, was your experience growing up, what shaped your decision to have one joint account as opposed to having all your account joint?
So as much as I can recall, I don't think they had a joint account, my parents, right? I know for sure, of course.
A lot of people didn't have joint account in
back
those
home,
days, I guess. Yeah.
And then, of course, I'll say probably because of the dynamics of my family, whereby, dad did most of their things, and then mom, of course, supported as much as she could.
Yeah.
There wasn't really, I wouldn't think there was a reason to have a joint account at the time, but I know for sure there are instances where, certain things are needed in the house, my mom just takes care of it right away without even mentioning it to my dad. My dad, for sure, when it comes to things like, major expenses, is all down for it. And then from time to time, my mom supports. But I can't recall them having same pulse, right? But then I think they kind of complemented each other, right? When it comes to expenses.
And that is to show that the fact that you don't have a joint account doesn't mean that you're not sharing expenses.
Yeah.
Right. So you could be sharing expenses, like you could have an arrangement where one person is taking care of certain things and the other person is taking care of certain things, or you both just take care of whatever it is, and you still don't have a joint account. So joint account doesn't necessarily mean that you guys are sharing the bills. Joint account means that you guys have an account where all your income are coming in together, or you have an account where some of your income are coming in together, or you
for
have
a common goal. Maybe you're saving up for down payment, like the example you gave, or maybe like for us, we want to make sure that end of every month, money is available for the mortgage, right? So that could be one way. It could also be that, you probably want to save for the kids' education, and then you have like a centralized account where you contribute equal amount.
Yeah.
It could be maybe, depending on the financial strength of the individuals, it could be a particular ratio, 60-30, so 60-40, 70-30, 50-50, right? Depending on what you agree on as a couple. So agreement is key at the end of the day. And there also needs to be accountability for the fact that it's joint. When something is joint, it means you cannot just wake up and make a decision all by yourself. You have to consult the other person and make sure they're on board with what you want to do.
Yeah. So if you're watching this today, I just want to say, like, share your story, share your joint account story. honestly, like, I think I have a lot. Like, I have a lot of stories that people have told me, and I have my own personal stories. But we want to hear your stories. So, if you want to, like, DM us your stories about joint account, the reasons why you chose joint versus your personal account, or like, your family dynamics in terms of like, what do you do joint, what do you do separately? I think, we would probably in one of our subsequent episodes, we'll probably take a look at it and see, the mix of what we have there. Like,
Yep. Absolutely. And yeah, for sure, we can keep your story anonymous if you want us to.
Yes.
And it could also be stories around, or better still, your mind set, or what you think about joint account.
Yes.
If you're opposed to it, you can give us your reasons, and then we can also share with everybody. We're here to grow together. And yeah.
I'm going to throw some questions at you guys, and you have to answer yes or no. So you don't know the questions at the end. Both of you guys have to answer at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Should every couple have a joint account?
No.
Is it wrong to keep a personal account your partner doesn't know about?
Yes.
Yes. No. Sometimes. It depends. It depends.
Should you merge finances before marriage?
No.
No. Sometimes. Try it out.
Imagine it before. Okay, just yes, no, sorry.
Yeah.
You can still say it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so for me, it's more of there's really no commitment, right? So why should you match?
No. Try it first, like, and see if it will work before you get married. That's one of the things we talked about. Like, try it first. If your partner is that kind of person that would take your entire savings and give to their brother, let them do it before you get married, so that you can be like, well, goodbye. Like, we can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Or what if you merge the money together and you probably have up to 100K in the account, and then they disappear with everything, withdraw and they disappear.
Well, that's why we said that there's a check and balances, right? Somebody shouldn't be able to take out money without the other person's consent.
Okay.
This is a different conversation we need to have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it okay to split everything 50-50?
It's okay.
I
I'll
agree.
say.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Split it.
Progressive couple.
Yeah. I know. Very controversial. Some people be like, no.
Yeah. However, there are instances.
My money, our money.
There are instances
money,
that 50-50 will not work.
Yes, 50-50
instances. So take, for example, one person is a stay-at-home dad or mom, and they don't have a lot of income, right? So that might not work.
And it depends also too. Sometimes, like, one person makes much more money than the other person. Then it's not fair. But like, if it's comfortable for you to do 50-50, absolutely. I think that's the right answer.
Okay. Yeah. Should one person manage the money if they're better at it?
Yes. Some people are terrible at managing money. Yeah.
Some people use spreadsheets to kind of track everything, and they say, we're going beyond board here. And some people be like, I don't want to see the number. Just
that's my husband for you. Like, that's Shola for you. Shola tracks everything on Excel sheet, and it annoys me. When I see that Excel sheet, I'm like, why are you increasing? Like, why do you want to give me high blood pressure? For God's sake, like, stop doing that. Anyways.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Is having separate accounts a red flag?
No,
it's not.
It's not.
Should you ask permission before making a big purchase?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't hear it.
Before you make a big purchase. So big purchase. So
yeah, it's a big purchase.
Maybe 50K upwards.
It does not matter.
It doesn't matter. Like, you want to buy a house, you're going to buy without me?
Big
Oh,
purchase.
God.
So when you say big purchase, I'm thinking maybe I want to get a phone, and I know I need a phone, and she'll say, no, you don't have to get a phone.
No, a phone is not a big purchase for some.
That's why I said,
depends on your financial status, right?
What is the definition
but
of...
whatever is big to you can cause issues. So that's why you should ask. Whatever is big to you as a family.
Okay.
Because for you, like, a phone may not be big for a family, but Shola, if you buy a house without telling me...
No, I won't do that.
Okay, good.
I won't do that. But I can buy a car, though. And say, surprise, this your...
No, it depends
for you, right?
on the car.
I buy the car as a present for you.
Even if you buy it as a present for me.
And we have I know we don't have any pressing financial need. We probably have enough reserve, probably.
Yes, if we have enough reserve.
And I feel, I've been asking you you don't want to drive, and then I kind of feel you need a car. I buy it for you as a birthday present. There are some gifts
that you buy that instead of just someone to tell you thank you, they will slap you.
You know what he just did?
Yeah.
You don't like driving, so you buy
it. Don't buy it so that you drive. Exactly. He's trying to shift responsibility. No, Shola is not working.
Okay. Can financial secrets be considered emotional cheating?
Yes.
Yes. In most cases.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Should you close joint accounts if things get rocky?
Yes, you should.
Okay. And final one, does love mean full financial transparency?
Yes.
That's one
full
of it.
financial transparency, yes. Yes. Let's leave it at that.
Let's leave it at that. Yes.
I was gonna say something else, but let's just leave it at that. Perfect. Before you go, guys, so next week we'll be talking about prenup.
Yes.
That's another interesting topic, controversial as well.
Yes.
And trust me, that conversation with joint account we discussed today, that will be more like a child's play because prenup is a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I hope you enjoyed this session. Please like, share, comment, subscribe to our channel. Remember to send us, to DM us your stories.
Your
we'll be happy to
questions.
review them, your questions, and see you next week.
Peace out.